Here now, House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy. Good to see you, sir. Welcome. Good to have you on the story tonight.
Thanks for having me on the show.
So Paul Ryan said earlier today when he was talking to Brian Kilmeade, everybody's rates will go down, everybody's exemption goes up. Is that really true? Everybody, every single American across this whole country, their tax rate's going to go down?
Yes, because this is what happens. We double the standard deduction. So if you're single, instead of the first $6,000 tax-free is now $12,000. A family, if you're a couple, the first $24,000. If you're a family, average family of 4, the first $55,000 you make is tax-free. But then we even lower small business, which creates more jobs, to the lowest rate it's been prior to World War II.
Now,
so everybody's rate is going down.
All right, so there's a bunch of issues here. First of all, people in states like California, I'm sure you're hearing quite a bit from folks at home. Because if you lose your state and local tax deduction and you're in a high-tax state like New York, New Jersey, California, Illinois, these are the people who are coalescing around voting against this bill. And the number, according to the latest whip count, goes as high as 14. You can only lose 22. So how are you going to get them on board? And many of them say, no, 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 my taxes will actually go up if I lose that deduction.
Well, that's just not true. And remember, I'm from California. So what we do in this bill is you lower the rate, you double the standard deduction. Fewer people will actually have to itemize. But the other thing that we do here is we eliminate the AMT. So if you take a household in California that has a high SALT, which is a state and local, what happens is that AMT is actually worth more than that, and we eliminate there. We also keep property tax. The average property tax in America,
up to $500,000, right? No,
that's a home deduction. A property tax is different.
Okay, so how much? But there's a cap on that property tax. It's up to
$10,000, but you know what the average American pays in a property tax? $2,500.
Yeah.
So when you look, if you just look at one item, then you'd sit back and say,
that's not true in most of New York, New Jersey, or California. It's a lot higher than that, but go ahead.
But if you look at the overall tax bill, if you eliminate the AMT, you lower the rates, you move up the standard deduction, what happens is you will pay less tax when you do your entire tax reform. And so that's what happens. I have taken all the IRS data for every congressional district. I have walked members through it so they can see where it is. And that is the uniqueness of what we have. And from day one, what's going to happen at the start of the new year, people are going to see more than their paycheck. They're actually going to take more home.
All right. Well, I think everybody hopes that that's absolutely true. And there's, accountants scrambling across the country and people getting out the back of the napkin trying to make sure that what you say is true. And if it isn't true, I'm sure they're going to hold you guys, your feet to the fire on it.
They should hold our feet to the fire. But remember this, the Washington Post, because the Democrats came out, Nancy Pelosi, and said that the middle class is going to pay more. They didn't get one Pinocchio or 3 Pinocchios. The Democrats over in the Senate got 4 Pinocchios, the most you can.
All right, I got to squeeze in another question. I hear you.
Okay.
Is the tax cut going to be retroactive for all of 2016?
No, it's not going to be retroactive for 2016. This is going to be going forward. But there is one element that will be retroactive to September 27th, and that's 100% expensing for business. So business can make that expensing now, buying that new manufacturing.
Right, so they'll do it at the higher rate, and the argument is that that's going to be better for them. One more question. Corporate tax rates going to 20%. Is that going to be stretched out over the next couple of years, or is that going to be effective as of this 2017 tax year?
We currently have in our rate right now that it goes into effect. And the one thing people have to think about this corporate rate, they had a study come out. That means $4,000 more into household income.
But you just said we have it in right now, so I'm thinking that means that when the Senate has it, there's some wiggle room there. Am I right?
I think the Senate may have a different version. They're going to come out tomorrow. We're going to move this bill out of Ways and Means tomorrow. We'll have this on the floor next week. The Senate will then pass theirs, and we'll go to conference. But the one thing you have to remember, they're all tax cuts.
All right. Did you feel like there was a message sent last night in that election to all of you?
Well, I think that was a very good message to everybody. We need to get this done, and I think it's going to help get tax reform passed.
All right. Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy, thank you so much. Always a pleasure to talk to you. Thanks for coming on tonight.